Hello everyone, so this is the start of Oxyotl Legendary. Now, I made a faction vote, and it all indicated that it would be Oxyotl, and I started prepping everything up, like thumbnails and everything. Oxyotl is really good. He has perfect climate, he's great for conquering the whole map, and I'm gonna try to showcase how. But on that faction vote, still, Yuan Bo was there, and it turns out that he actually won later on. You know, I decided at one point where it was tied that it would go, okay, let's go Oxyotl. And I'm now wondering whether I should do both. Maybe both would be better. But I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot to Oxyotl, and then I'll try Yuan Bo as well, and maybe see if I can do something different or a different style of a campaign, maybe more narrative or something like that. That sort of idea. Okay, so we're gonna go Legendary very hard. Minor faction potentially, yes, and AI strengthened threat assessment as well. Endgame difficulty, yeah, triggered a long victory, or at least on turn 120 or something like that. Note that I always put on higher turn ranges because I'm not using stuff like lightning strike and stuff like that. So no diplomacy therefore, and no dwarves, and no none of the ones that I have done already. I haven't done the greenskins ever, and I haven't done the Black Pyramid. So the Will of Shoot, oh, I've done it, yes. So I want to try them out, you know, at least on, you know, while we're seeing here. I cannot wait to see if they would give us more scenarios now. I don't want Ironman mode. That's the manually save the game. It's one of the reasons why I can't keep doing the video properly. And sometimes with the kids, they'll interrupt me halfway through, and then I wouldn't be able to. So yeah, it would just take me way too long. So let's start with Oxyotl. He starts with quite a nice army and army capability, because he starts with a tier 2 skink building, so that's good. And we're gonna get a skink chief out of this. Yep. Now he has a lot of good mechanics, but mainly it's the travels to the the visions of the old ones. So what is the visions of the old ones? It's basically where he can teleport around, but not exactly around. He can teleport once to a different place for a quest, right? And then he can teleport back, but he can now no longer teleport to the same quest place. So it's one of those situations where if you capture a place and if you go back, then suddenly you have no presence there, and you'll need maybe an army. But that can happen, you know. And at one point, it will be just a quicker way to expand than anything else. So let's get Secrets of Purpose, anything there, and let's fight the first battle. It tells me the Valiant Defeat. I'm gonna put this is good to reduce enemy armor, and this one is good to reduce their morale. Overall, the Chameleon Skinks, nah, that's not how this battle is gonna go at all. Not how the battle is going to go at all. Chameleon Skinks are not missile infantry, but they totally are. No, they're missile cav. They totally are missile cav because they're really fast, and they can skirmish away because they can fire while moving. They have 30-60 fire arc, and they apply poison, so whoever is chasing them is going to have a hard time. So it's going to have to be an extremely fast unit like these dogs to even chase them away. And 2 units can actually deal with the dogs before they do anything, you know? It's amazing how they turn away and fire. Yeah, see? Like they fire the blowpipes. And this unit is dead as soon as it clashes, honestly. It's just because the Blood Reaper is here. There we go. Let me sip my coffee. This is a good sip coffee time. And he's already halfway health, which is amazing. It's not like Oxyotl is doing a lot of damage. By the way, Oxyotl as a character himself doesn't do too much until the very late stages, where he gets his items, where he gets to do some damage actually. But overall, he's always this sneaky guy that is always attacking, and no one can tell where he is because he's stalking. So yeah, he even though my units may run away, they run away really fast. Skinks run away really fast, which means that they will survive. And you see them gaining ground, but now the dinosaurs come in. And with Bastiladons, they have this immune to flanking, so they don't take damage while surrounded, which means they are perfect for these situations. Bastiladons are great to have just to in the thick of things, and then you drop like a comet or something like that, which is kind of like how I'm going to use them earlier on. I still don't have the comets, but once I do, you're going to see the main effect of the Bastiladons. They're really good at just tanking. They do damage, of course, sure, but they're really good at just tanking and at buying time for the 2E guys to do their job. And yeah, while enacting the great plan, he has some list of stuff to do. I always like to include something like that, so I hope you like it. You can pause if you wish. Okay, army replenish or treasury and ammunition. I wish it was more than just ammunition. Oxyotl already gives them ammunition. So army replenishment. I'm always wondering, because it's the gold that I'm wondering. I'm pretty sure that Lizardmen have a problem with gold later on. You know, after the first few buildings, their buildings are really expensive. And there are a lot of them, so that's why it causes a lot of issues. So army replenishment, yeah, let's go with army replenishment. Army replenishment is always good. It's always something that keeps you going and keeps you moving. And yeah, definitely, I didn't know if I could reach the settlement, and I believe so. Let's put route marcher to and increase mobility. Yeah, let's ensure I reach it. But those usually only affect the next turn. But yeah, I could even auto-resolve it, but let's fight it out. Same idea, chameleon skinks over there on the front, and the others skinks behind, and the dinosaurs are here. They're so far away because they don't have Vanguard. So I deployed the other ones in Vanguard. Oh, my apologies. I had something. Hold on. But yeah, for the most part, the damage is done by the skinks. Yeah, there we go. And like, this unit is routing with almost full models. And now it's time to hit the bloodletters. I mean, this is something that it's so annoying to fight. Never engage chameleon skinks unless you have a unit that can completely catch them away from the poison. You want an annoying combination is something that gives slow as like a frost maiden or something like that, and chameleon skinks. You're gonna go like, oh, please let me catch up to them, because I know they die. But well, that's how it works. That's not how it works. Still, the Troglodon is really cool. Skink Oracle is one of the best hero units that was added. I mean, it just gives you a tier 5 unit for free. I'm nearly losing that unit, so you gotta be careful because they're really squishy. These guys, they're really good. They're really squishy. They have a ton of melee defense, actually, which is amazing for a, a unit that is actually supposed to be a damage dealer. You know, those chameleon stalkers. And these normal skink cohorts, they do just fine. The ones with javelins, they do just fine. They can throw a couple of javelins in, and then they'll just fight really well, even against Chaos Warriors of Khorne. So it's one of the surprising units, actually, that you have in the roster. And honestly, some of the best units are just skinks, because they allow you a much required versatility, you know? Always pursue them, by the way. I always put them to pursue there. And yeah, this is a good start to the campaign. This is a bad start to the campaign because I just got a Crown of Command. I need to fuse it later on. But it could have been, like a potion of health or something like that. I don't know if they get it. Now, one thing is that the skink building goes to tier 3. So of course I want to move it to a minor settlement, instead of it being on the major settlement. But for that, it's going to take a while. Here's one thing with Oxyotl that I recommend that you will do. Because you start with some money. Let's go red line, for sure. Let's go stimulate growth. There we go. Yeah, the cursed charm. The cursed charm is kind of nice. Or the crown. I don't know. Cursed charm. Yeah. Auxiliaries. One thing that I recommend, that is what I was about to say, is that we go into the global recruitment. 2 units is not enough to make a difference, so I might as well just recruit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. So 7 units, why? Because with the global, it takes 2 turns, right? It takes 2 turns to recruit, so it means that next turn I'll still be recruiting, and I might as well use the global recruitment as well. The Hen is likely going to become an ally soon. Well, not soon, but soonish. And there's a destroy faction, the Risen Throne. Well, I get, by the way, you don't need to travel. If you're nearby, you can just gain the reward without traveling. So skip a couple of turns. Skip the turn, actually, and I'm doing the Chameleon Stalkers. And I'm gonna get some Red Crested Skinks because of the armor piercing. In case there is some threats, you know, some armored units that show up. And I'm gonna get the Chief. The Skink Chief is not gonna be the hero for him, but might as well just start developing. So I cannot delete that building yet, demolish that building yet, because it wouldn't recruit the units, you know. It first demolishes and then it's like first it demolishes, then it recruits, then it builds new buildings. And that order completely avoids you being able to recruit. So you gotta be careful there. Alright, so we have the army. Let's fight Mount Athul. I could auto-resolve it and lose a unit, or I can just fight a battle. Let's fight the battle, the 3rd in this episode. So, now we have an army of skinks. Now this is a good army. So, lots of unshielded units. That's exactly where you want your skinks to be. Then I have like a couple of fronts here, taking advantage of the terrain there, the doodad there, that helps. So we're gonna be stationed here, and now I gotta be careful not to do the thing. Let's not do the thing, and now we can do the thing. So we're going to attack, of course, any units, particularly the Chaos Warriors and the Bloodletters. That's the ones that I'm going to search with my dinosaurs. And that's it. Let's just fight the battle and see what happens. Now, this is a good example where he actually caught up to my Chameleon Skinks, and he's going to do some damage. You know, sometimes I like to leave them in skirmish mode, but skirmish mode locks onto a unit to skirmish. And the problem with that is that it means another unit can be approaching them and they don't realize it until it's too late. That's why it's janky. Skirmish mode has to lock to the unit that it is skirmishing away from, or else it doesn't work properly. If you tell them to skirmish away and there's only one unit, it works well. If there's plenty of other enemies, it doesn't. And of course, when have you seen a battle without too many enemies? Well, that's the problem with the skirmish mode. But still, it can work if you're only being chased by one unit. Make sure that you use it, because it will work in that moment. For that situation, yes, it does work. So, Bastiladon, of course, engaging the forces here. I was just shooting the javelins here. And yes, you may shoot even into these guys with shields, don't worry. They'll dodge a few of the missiles, but they'll still catch a few of them. And it'll still do some damage for their health. And my dinosaurs here keeping these bloodletters busy. Busy dinos. It's just amazing to see dinosaurs. I mean, I really... Sorry, I made the right decision in going Oxyotl because dinos are super cool. But I'll try to make Yuan Bo as well. I'll see if I can do this. 2 campaigns at the same time, it might be difficult, but I'll try to record as much as I can with Oxyotl and then focus a little bit on Yuan Bo. Okay? And still do the videos that I want. Well, I think I can do this. Yeah, guys. So... now, there's a lot of Red Crescent Skinks here. They're fighting Bloodletters. Not a bad matchup for them. It's like the same type of unit versus the same type of unit, but improved. So Bloodletter's much better than my Red Crested Skinks, but also much more expensive. So I'm really spending just the unit that doesn't do too much. And now, of course, he's being called out. He's retreating, and that's exactly what we wanted, is to cause a rout. And note, yes, Skinks will suffer, but they will do quite well. We gotta use that song. I gotta put that song when, or play that song whenever I'm playing this. So yeah, let's get occupied. And that's the end of that faction. It gave me some good rewards. Capture province 1000 and a shield. I get a new sanctum. A right unlocked. And the province is secured. So many messages. Yes, I got the province secured. Brazen, yeah. I have to sometimes I have to reduce the world event stuff. Okay, select the region here. I'm just confirming how I can do this. I don't want it here yet. I want it maybe here. Yeah, build a silent setting here because it gives me visibility. And yeah, casualty replenishment rate. I would like that. So the recruitment cost and upkeep is in your own provinces, and the other ones are likely in the enemy provinces. And this army ability summons a unit of chameleon stalkers, so which is great. Any summon is always great, so that's the one that we're going to go for as a general rule of thumb, let's say. Now I can demolish this because I have already the building. I want growth, but I also want money. I hope I'm not over-investing there. Let's go Skirmisher, yes. I always like to go red line whenever I don't have immediately replenished troops, or if I have replenished troops as an action on the hero, which I have, so that makes it. Okay, yeah, I can do this. Recruitment costs, yeah. And the army ability. That's great. If there's any enemies counterattacking me, I'll have their army ability, which is good. I could perform this right, but that's 2000, and it's not like I'm going to recruiting too much or fighting too much right now. So I think I'm going to hold on until later on that. Let me show you a little bit on how I'm planning to build Oxyotl and some of the early armies. So this is the sort of idea. You've seen these templates everywhere. Now, a big change that will happen is, of course, with the blessed units. Because with the blessed units that I'm going to get, of course, I'm going to try to get different army compositions based on those blessed units. And that changes a lot. Like, you're going to see, further episodes, we're going to get some blessed shielded Saurus. So of course that changes a little bit how I'm going to approach this, but still armies around the Skinks and with the Croxigars to help alongside anything that can artillery or any monsters should be fine. As for Oxyotl, this is a starting army to late game progression example. You can follow it completely different. So ROR, outposts, special units like the blessed units is going to change everything like the disclaimer says. But the early army, you can see, as soon as I complete the tier 3, I'm going to give him a priest of heavens, and I'm going to give him some nice Bastiladons with revivification crystals, mainly for the heroes and the others, and some 3 artillery pieces. That's the sort of idea that I want, especially because you're going to have some enemies like the Vampire Coast or like the Skaven, who will definitely have some artillery, and I just want something that can snipe them, even if just close by. The biggest advantage between dinosaurs and skinks is that you can get everything with just 2 skills. The Skirmisher skill and the Beast Driver skill, those are excellent. And then you have units that stay throughout the game like the Chameleon Skinks and Chameleon Stalkers. Let's see each other on the next episode. Bye bye.